Elon has had it. He is done, and now we see that the gloves are coming off. There really is a disagreement with Trump's policies and Mike Johnson's policies and Elon's policies. I think Elon was looking for drastic cuts, and it actually didn't happen. We're going to talk about that today. Also, we're going to discuss, the rescission package, $9.4 billion. I'm going to put that in perspective to you. $9.4 billion is just hours of our budget in America. We spend that in just hours. It'll blow your mind what we're talking about here. We need to cut hundreds of billions. We'll discuss it. Also, I'm going to prove to you why it's important to grow your own food. Even with the label organic, it's skewed because the people that are labeling organic is FDA and USDA. You always have to look for a third party that has no interest into government ways. Because why? Because there's this new approach and this new product that Bill Gates is pushing that somehow his chemical gets an organic labeling. It'll blow your mind. Also, we're going to discuss an interview that Benny Johnson just had, how Epstein and Diddy have a lot to do with intelligence and how that's why we'll never hear the secrets. It'll blow your mind what was said. We're going to talk about what's happening in Minneapolis, how there is literally people fighting against the FBI and the deportations. But then we're also going to talk about what Trump said about World War III. It's kind of alarming. And also the biggest story is what they just found coming across our seas. I want you to listen to this. Chinese couple charged with smuggling biological pathogen, United States. What did I tell you just a few days ago, July 4th, and how there's been talks of biological warfare? We just busted someone, a Chinese couple, from bringing in biological pathogens. Unbelievable. Let's dive into these stories. Hey guys, welcome to themacs. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new, please go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell. Give us a thumbs up if you like the content. Thumbs down, that's okay, but let us know why you disagree with the content of today. But comment below. Tell us what your thoughts are on today's video. That helps us grow together and get more wiser as we start reading other people's comments, and we can have community down below. Now let's jump into the stories of the day. First, let's talk about Elon and Trump. Elon left the administration, and no matter what you think about Elon and some of his policies, I do think that he was looking out for the well-being of Americans. Now, Doge was a complete failure. I'm going to say it. It was a complete failure, and I'll tell you why. But first, I want to go to what Tyler Todd said. Now, Tyler Todd is a kind of an influencer on platforms, but he never talks into politics. He always deals with like self-improvement, working out, staying fit, that kind of stuff. But I want you to listen to what he says. He said, this is why I believe it is wise to ignore 99% of all political things. He said, if Elon Musk, the world's richest, the world's smartest, the world's most powerful man, just sacrificed hundreds of millions of dollars, he lost over $130 billion estimated loss, gave all his energy, stayed in his office, this little tiny cubicle office, and slept there through the nights. If he devoted all that time to DC and changing DC, listen to this, and could not affect the kind of change DC needed. So what good is it for you to think about politics? And I know we talk about politics, but the reason we talk about politics is not to actually make you dabble in it. It's to make you say, look, they're not going to help you. Tyler said this. He said, it's time to lead yourself, lead your home, volunteer locally, and spend time and energy on yourself, your family, because the politicians will not do it for you. Elon Musk came out and he said, I can't handle it anymore. I'm done. This big, beautiful bill is a joke. It is preposterous. All the things we've worked so hard for, Mike Johnson and the Congress, the Republicans, are basically tossing it out. Now, I want to talk about two things with this. It's actually caused a rift between Trump and Elon. I know Trump is trying to keep it mellow, but Elon is basically saying, look, we worked so hard to get this done, and then all of a sudden, all we can do is worry about a $9.4 billion rescission plan. And to be honest with you, Congress doesn't even want to take up the $9.4 billion rescission plan. So the big, beautiful bill spends about $5 to $10 trillion over the next coming years, okay? Not only that, listen to this. Not only that, it does not have any cuts in it. It has new spending. Not only that, Marjorie Taylor Greene said the quiet parts out loud. And this is why I just disrespect Republicans. I'm a conservative Christian who blows my mind how conservatives ruin everything they're given. Marjorie Taylor Greene says, I would have not voted for the bill if I'd have probably read the part where AI is going to be basically ran by the government for 10 years and the states have no rights. I wouldn't have voted for it. So what you just said, and what she just said basically, is that the conservatives, none of them read the bill, and so they don't really know what they voted for. They got the talking points. So as a Christian conservative, I'm literally completely, I'm done with the Republicans. They stress me out so bad because, again, we're blowing everything we have. We're blowing the chance of cuts. We're blowing the chance of changing America. We're blowing the chance with our Supreme Court. We're blowing our chance with Congress. And I blame the Congress and the Republicans. Listen to this. I want you to pay attention now. After the heat that Elon Musk was putting on this, they're going to pass a 9.4 rescission plan. Now, the rescission plan that Trump is proposing, I just want us to understand this. $9.4 billion is all they're wanting to cut out of our federal government. But they're wanting to spend trillions more. Do you understand that? That's like you saying, I want to consolidate my debt because I'm in major troubles and I'm going in a hole and I cannot even breathe to buy cereal next week. I'm going to go to the new dealership and buy a brand new Ford truck for $80,000. I think I can do it. That's basically what we did. We want to cut a little bit to act like we're really on fire for, doing good things for American people, but then blow it by this new bill. $9.4 billion that Trump just put up is the stupidest bill. You know why? Yeah, it cuts USAID $8.4 billion, but there's still hundreds of trillions of dollars. They still get hundreds of billions of dollars, by the way. They have not actually cut USAID. And it cuts PBS. The Republican Congress doesn't even want to take this up. They do not want to take this up before midterms. Do you know how much $9.4 billion is? That's a lot of honking money. We spend $9.4 billion in our government and an average of 11 to 12 hours a day. Let me make sure you understand what I just said. They're not wanting to cut $9.4 flipping billion. All that entails is actually about 11 hours of our budget a year. We are a fallen nation. I mean, I don't care. I know you think I'm a pessimist, but you need to go back to what Tyler just said. He said, it's all about preparing yourself. It's all about making sure you're ready because they're not doing jack crap for you. Jamie Dimon came out a few days ago, again, JP Morgan Chase, probably setting up for a presidential run. But he said, instead of stockpiling Bitcoin, we need to stockpile bullets. We need to take care of ourselves. I mean, I'm trying to tell you this. Even the people, even normal individuals, even businessmen, even Elon Musk is saying, we cannot keep at this trajectory. This is from Geiger Capital. It says, 1 million seconds ago, meaning if we went back 1 million seconds in time, we'd be back at May 23rd. And you're like, okay, that's, 8, 9, 10 days ago. 1 billion seconds. If we went back 1 billion seconds, we would go back to 1993. That's a lot. That's a long time. That's years. But listen to this. 1 trillion seconds ago would put us at 30,000 BC. Unexistence. And we just passed over, what, $37 trillion worth of debt? It will never be paid. It cannot be paid off. They can blow smoke, and you can believe it all you want, but it will not be paid off. There's two ways that debt goes away. A massive reset to change the way money is done, or a massive collapse that destroys our nation. I'm sorry, you can't tell me another way. Elon Musk, again, richest man in the world, the most smartest man in the world, literally digging boring holes into our soul to understand how to move traffic underneath soil. The man is brilliant. He can catch his own rockets. I don't care if you like him. I don't care if he's not really conservative. The man is brilliant. You got to give him that. He said this is an immense level of overspending that will drive America into complete and utter slavery. It will happen. Let's move on to what USDA and FDA just allowed. Bill Gates just made this new chemical called Appeal. Now, I've told you about Appeal. Appeal was something that gives that waxy look on vegetables and fruits in the store, in the grocery. It makes that apple look real shiny. It makes you feel like you're really buying something that's very clean and perfect, and like they just picked it off the the tree last week. That didn't happen. But that chemical has been on our crops. Absolutely horrific for your health. Horrific for your health. Bill Gates' appeal coating company just got approved to be used on organic foods. Somehow it was approved to be used on organic food, even though it has 2 chemicals that are explicitly banned for organic foods by USDA. Regulators approved the appeal as a fungicide, not a coating. The technological loophole allows him to then recertify it as organic because he calls it a fungicide and not a preservative. Your government is lying to you. It's just unbelievable. So why you think you're buying clean, untouched food? To be honest with you, it's still plated with arsenic, lead, cadmium, and palladium. If it's so safe, then why would they have to get a new coating to pass law? Why would they have to get new coating to pass law to make it allowed to be used on your food? It's mind-blowing. Shows the power of people like Bill Gates. We want things to happen. We want good things to happen. But even your organic food, now you better watch what they put on it. You better know everything about it. Or you just do what I've been telling you to do. You start learning how to grow your own food. You start learning how to buy from the farmer. Because I promise you, your farmer down the road is not spraying Bill Gates' appeal on his food. You eat it. If you don't eat it, it goes bad. I told you I have this plum tree that's just magnificent every year. It's so much, it's overwhelming. So we spend days, I mean freezing, canning, making fruit leather out of, dehydrating, eating to a point where I'm eating like hundreds of plums in a week. They're just little small pop-in plums. Same with blueberries. I got blueberry trees right here. We're out here picking every day. Because if we don't, within days, they're gone. They're worthless. They're worthless. You tell me how you have clean diets and you believe that you're healthy when this kind of trash is put on your food. Chemicals. And all they do is find a loophole to put it on there. Real quick, I want to mention this story, and this is one I thought was really good. Benny Johnson had U.S. Attorney Brett Tolman on, and it said, and this is why I believe you'll never hear the truth when it comes to the FBI and DOJ, when it comes to Bondi and Patel. I honestly, Patel and Bongino are good people. I believe, just like Elon Musk, I believe that's why you saw Elon Musk literally look depressed. He looked like he was always exhausted. He was on probably no telling what. I think these people didn't realize how evil and sinister big government is. Brett Tolman says Diddy and Epstein ran nearly identical blackmail operations, both protected and enabled by intelligence agencies. Enabled by intelligence agencies. They worked with the government agencies. Don't doubt that. CIA and FBI operations. It should be criminal. There's actually an exposure saying that Mike Myers, the guy that played Austin Powers and the Cat in the Hat, could possibly also be a CIA operative. I want to go back just for a second. We just hired Palantir to literally do a database over America. Guess what? You know who their biggest provider is? You know who their biggest business partner is? CIA. Oh, guess what? You know what else? Who's on the board of Palantir now? Deborah Birx. Dr. Birx, that was over 2020. She's now serving on their board. Isn't that unbelievable? This is the kind of stuff that just proves to me, no matter who you put in leadership. I mean, you got RFK over making America healthy again, but we're allowing appeal still to go through. We have this person who's supposedly a farmer over USDA. They're allowing stuff to still go through. We have Trump, who is supposed to be the best leader and the most force with freedom, is struggling to pass bills to actually cut our budget. I mean, and allowing Palantir at our disposal to really use what they want of our surveillance. You don't believe this is true? Listen to this. The ADL, this is a story broke just a few days ago. The ADL, which is the Anti-Defamation League, it's a far left group. They're wanting to work with New York and try to work through phones, surveillance, work through social media. What did we talk about? The freedom of speech. They want to work through, and so they could do like the Minority Report. You know that movie with Tom Cruise where they found and they could see that there could be a problem here, so they want to arrest the people before it happens. Now, that's called illegal. Now, here's the difference. If someone is a person of interest, then yes, we should investigate them. Did you know that most of the situations, like the guy, for instance, the guy at Boulder, Colorado, he tried to purchase 2A rights, but because he was illegal and undocumented and didn't have the paperwork, he couldn't do it. So that's why he used a Molotov cocktail. Don't you think that surveillance should have red flagged that guy? So if you talk about if you talk about actually worried about what people are saying or doing, don't worry about the conservatives saying freedom of speech things that they want to say. You need to worry about the guy that you allowed to throw Molotov cocktails into a Colorado place of worship of Jewish people. And guess what? Here's the thing. If we're so good at surveillance and we're so good at regulation and we're so good at making sure that we're taking care of them, you can literally send me an app. I can talk about a scooter. I'm saying a scooter. I want to buy a scooter right now. Now, I don't really want to buy a scooter, but I want to buy a scooter right now. I promise you, I will have a scooter app, a scooter ad on my phone in less than 10 hours. Through the day, I promise you, I'll go to Amazon or Facebook or YouTube, and there will be a scooter app. I can buy a scooter today. But you can't tell me that we can't bust that guy before he threw a Molotov cocktail in the Boulder, Colorado thing when he literally got declined for buying a GUN at a store. That is mind-numbing. And now the ADL wants to surveil phones so they can project who may commit crime so then they can bust them because they're using freedom of speech. Totally different thing. And guess what? You watch if you don't start seeing that happening with Palantir. You watch if you don't start seeing that happening with Bill Gates' new satellites. You watch if you don't see that happening with ADL. You know what's so crazy? The man who has that power would be someone like Elon Musk with Starlink and X. And X is literally probably the only platform that you literally can say anything. Like, it's absolutely dangerous because of the things that sometimes people can say or share on there. But it is freedom. Now, this is a problem. All this is a problem. But it goes back to what Tyler said. You have to look for yourself. You have to prepare for yourself. You have to look after yourself. You have to make sure you're doing the very best you can for yourself. Why does he keep saying that? Because the politicians don't even want to take up a bill that would actually just cut 11 hours worth of funding. We literally have databases that are now getting our information, and we're allowing it. Republicans and Democrats. And now we have groups that want to censor us more. It's unbelievable. Oh, what about our food? I mean, geez. Our food now has more chemical on it. That more chemical makes us want to... That chemical now makes us sick. Oh, guess who's one of the biggest investors in some of the pharmaceutical? Bill Gates. Wow. We're running out of time, but I want to mention this, and this is where it gets real serious. You know, I told you yesterday that July 4th there's been rumblings of a biological attack on America. Now, is that going to happen? Maybe, maybe not. Listen to this, though. Chinese couple was just charged by smuggling a biological pathogen into the U.S. It says, breaking. Chinese nationalists arrested for attempting to smuggle things for quote-unquote research into the University of Michigan. Student visas are now being used to sabotage the United States. These people were bringing in a pathological, biological weapon to one of our colleges. Don't believe me? Guess what? Guess who is one of the main students at Harvard that they're trying to get rid of? Now, the Democrats don't want to get rid of them, but Rubio came out and he says, we're going to start requesting visas to be revoked so we can send these kids back to their homes, because what they're doing is we're finding out they're probably not actually good for Americans. Xi Jinping, the leader of China, his daughter is in school at Harvard. So our taxpayers and our endowments and all the stuff that we pay and give to Harvard, one of the Harvard students is literally Xi Jinping's daughter. These were two Chinese children, college kids, trying to bring in a pathological, biological specimen into colleges. And all the while we literally have rumblings from the DHS and FBI and a guy the other day, Dr. Martin, saying literally that there is a threat for July 4th for biological warfare that could literally kill 200,000 to 400,000 people. Mind-blowing that we're allowing this to take place. They busted them. I'm glad they busted them. FBI busted them. Kash Patel shared that. But the thing is, how many have we not busted? Let's go back to what Tom Holman said just a few days ago. He said, there's 2 million gotaways that we know nothing about. Again, we give them phones. The Biden administration gave them phones, but we know nothing about them. You remember the guy at the border? He said, you will know my name. You will know my name. We literally have clinics being bombed. We have a worship service in Seattle getting overrun, and Seattle is standing with the Antifa members versus the Christians. We literally see a situation in Boulder, Colorado. We literally see problem after problem after problem. And you wonder what causes all this. And it's amazing. They're wanting to surveil and take your freedoms away from people who are conservative and Christian. Like, it's amazing. I will be ghosted and censored off this video, and I'm the one trying to tell you to have freedom, to have conservative views, and that our leaders are letting us down on both sides of the aisle. And I will be the one persecuted for it versus these people that are actually causing harm to America. We're allowing Chinese people to come in and immigrants from all over to go to these schools to now see that there was a risk for a biological attack. They call it's for research. Isn't that gain of you know what that Fauci does? Isn't that for research and now it killed multiple millions? What are we doing in America? That's causing for problems. Guess what? ICE and FBI, literally, there was people throwing rocks, slapping them, hitting them in Minneapolis. You don't believe that's going to be civil war? You don't believe we're seeing a polarization of our nation? You don't believe that we're seeing absolute chaos in our towns and our cities? We had election last night, and we lost handily. Republicans lost handily in my town. Now, is that a big deal? Ways to be seen. The battle is right in front of us. Elon Musk tried. He failed. It wasn't his fault. He tried. He literally tried. And now Mike Johnson's going after him. Now Republicans are going after him. Now Democrats are going after him. Isn't it amazing? All he was trying to do was give you freedom on Twitter. Literally give you internet in places that don't have internet. Do you know that's how the people in North Carolina were rescued? Was because Elon Musk and his internet capabilities to give them technological telecommunications signals? Now, am I PRing for the guy? No. I don't know the guy. I'm just saying it's amazing how some of the most powerful people that were trying to do good are the ones that gets taken off. It's unbelievable. I'm going to end with this and then we're going to finish up. This is what scares me the most. This is Trump. I refuse to bend the knee to the next endless war in Ukraine. I want peace. They want money and they want conflict. Even if this means us walking into World War III. So what he's saying is, no, I don't want World War III. I don't want this. But yet, there's no agreement. Yet, we're still funding. Listen, Lindsey Graham, whatever the Bud Blumenthal, the Democrat senator, and guess who else was on that trip? See what you don't know. He spent $400,000 to go send 2 senators over there. Guess who else was on that trip? Mike Pompeo, former CIA director. Has no standing in the Trump administration. These 2 senators have no, bearing to be over there as administrative liaison for Trump. You tell me there's not a deep player behind it when you have a Rhino and a Blumenthal who both have been career politicians and a former CIA director going over there, and all of a sudden major bombings happens to Russia. Escalation. Here's what I'm saying. I know we want Trump, RFK, Elon Musk. We want these people to change the way Washington works. But I'm sorry, they can't. Just like the debt, we were talking about the Geiger counter. We either need a massive reset that's going to scare us and shock us all, or you're going to see an implosion and failure, civil war, or world war. Either way, it's not good for America. Let's go back to what Tyler said. Our focus has to be on ourselves. It's like my town. Man, it upset me so bad last night that the Democrats won because of what the initiatives and the policies they want to push. Our town's actually been doing so good, but it became a race situation. And guess what? What I've realized is my town and my county, they're not going to look out for me. They're not. And I'm just one of 10, 15, 20,000 people in the town. It comes down to us. So you think if my own town can't look after me, my own state may not can look after me, my own America cannot look after me, the world's definitely not caring who I am, I mean, look, the richest man in the world, they're all ostracizing and blasting now. Prepare. Get ready, prepare. Simple as that. Every one of these stories should tell you one thing. Is no one cares about you more than you yourself, other than spiritually with God. But you want to protect your family, don't look for the government to do it. You want to protect yourself, don't look for the government to do it. You want to feed yourself, then you need to feed yourself. Don't rely on the government to do all this for you. Guys, let me know your thoughts on today's video. I know it's probably not what you want to hear, but it's something that we need to hear. Sometimes truth is hard to hear, but if we proverbially put our head in the sand, we're going to wake up one day and say, what kind of world did we make? And I think that's what we're doing now, and it shows because we can't win. Patel and Bongino can't do anything. Trump cannot do anything. Elon cannot do anything. RFK still allowing Bill Gates to have appeal loopholes to get on organic food. The little wins are nothing. The 9.4 rescission bill, it literally makes 11 hours free. Is that really the cuts we wanted, or do we want way more? It's unbelievable. Guys, let me know your thoughts on today's video. God bless.